Hi, I'm Alan Jones, Executive Editor for Boating World Magazine. Well, today I'm in beautiful northern Indiana on Stardeck 226 with Dan Robinson. How you doing, Dan?
Great.
Now, a lot of companies that have an entry-level line will purposely make it look a little ugly so their better brands look better in comparison. You guys didn't do that, did you?
That's a lesson that we learned a few years back, and we did the same thing. As we made a cheap boat look cheap. But what we've learned is we started this project. We tried to make a value-pointed boat look very luxurious, and I think we hit the mark.
Absolutely. I love the Class C accents. A lot of times that's where it really stands out, is the upholstery. But this is really beautiful.
The upholstery took us a lot of time to get right, and there's certain things that we did that I think have really made our customers appeal towards this boat. One is, you see the accent in the vinyl that you pointed out, but we also have the recessed cup holders that are chrome bezeled, as well as the chrome accented speakers. So that really pops out, and the difference in the color, the solid color in our blue boats, blue, burgundy, really helps accentuate the seats as well. Then what we do is we bring out our chase lounges very wide, so you have a very comfortable chase seat, yet we tuck back in the seating portion. So on this 8-foot 6-inch deck, you have a dance floor out here. You have a ton of walking room.
Well, you guys nail the recline in these recliner seats too. Sometimes they're a little too upright, but talking to seats, this helm, that really sometimes really shows off a cheap boat, because they give you a no-frills helm, but this is really fully featured, isn't it?
We've gone from everything from those flip-flop seats to fishing seats to try to save money on a helm seat, yet it shows in the end product. Like you said, a cheap boat looked cheap. Well, now we have a value-pointed boat that's got a very luxurious and a very comfortable helm chair that's adjustable forward, backwards, side to side. It's really not missing anything, and it has armrests.
Well, I noticed the stereo is the same stereo we saw on a more expensive boat, wasn't it?
Yes, we're using that JBL system, which is a great system, and we also have the MP3 jack, so you can run through your Pandora through your phone, or you can run MP3s or iPods. It's a very versatile system. It's got a brain box that allows you to run CD players or a single CD player through it, all right through simple hookups.
Well, how's the storage on this boat?
The storage is great. Under every seat there's a storage compartment, as well as in the end of the chase lounge on the front seats they have a separate storage compartment. Then hidden away in this chase lounge is a changing room that folds out on gas shocks and allows you to have the flexibility of a changing room, porta potty situation, yet we didn't take up another 2 feet of the back of the boat with it.
Right. You really make excellent use of the space here. I'll tell you, my driver was looking at the helm earlier, and he had so much room underneath. You really remarked on that. But one of the things I like is your bimini top. I hate the pins, and I noticed this one doesn't have that on it.
Yeah, we struggled because, again, older customers that take the boat always have a hard time with those little thumb screws or the push pins that go in. So what we went to was the easy-use push mechanism that snaps right into place, and it takes all those worries out of the boat.
That's great. Well, Dan, looks like we got room for a few people on this boat. How many can we hold?
Well, this boat will hold 13 people, and what's nice about it in a value-pointed boat is, I mentioned before, we have an 8.5-foot width on the deck, where most people go to the 8-foot to save some money, and we still use the 25-inch diameter pontoons that gives us that great capacity and gives the boat a great attitude when it's cutting across the water, and really easy to control. You don't have that dropping feeling in the corners when you bank. The other thing that we didn't skimp on is our hardware. Up on the front of the boat we use cast corners that are rounded instead of square, so for the entry-level boat, or when they're coming in a dock, sometimes they catch that square plastic or POC metal cast corner cap, and they get replaced all the time. We rounded ours off, has a nice chrome finish to it, and it's very hardy. The other thing is our gate hardware is all spring-loaded, so if a gate's open, the driver at a glance can see that a gate was left open. We also through-bolt all of our gates, and we use a stainless steel core in our gate latches, so if somebody's leaning over to grab a pole to bring you into the dock, they don't end up in the drink.
Right. Any other features you can think of?
Well, the one that I wanted to tell you about was our table. It's a two-position table, so it's not just in the back. You can bring that up. We got a pressurized water system on the boat, so if you have kids or if you're doing some fishing on the boat, standard again. And then our back deck, where we have a rear entry platform, we also have a standard ladder.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Dan. I appreciate you showing me around.
You're welcome.
We just finished testing the Stardeck 226. It's powered by Mercury's 4-stroke 90 horsepower engine. Kind of modest horsepower for a pontoon boat, but we got really good results with a time to plane of 3 seconds, and we got to 20 miles an hour in 4.2 seconds with a top speed of 26.5 miles an hour. Now, one thing about this boat, it's Starcraft's entry-level line, but I'll tell you what, we're seeing some really luxurious features on this boat, and it handles really nice. For more information on the Stardeck 226 and other great boats, go to boatingworld.com. I'm Alan Jones, and we'll see you out on the water. This engine really hooks up well. One of the unusual characteristics about the Mercury is if you tend to over-trim it, boy, you'll know it immediately because you slow way down. It's like someone threw out the anchor, so you never have to worry about over-trimming and not knowing it. You'll know immediately